Oh my God. Straight scenes of the apocalypse, man. That's another gas line. Jesus Christ, man. So much stuff in the air. Look at that, man. Stuff burning everywhere. Another huge boom. Folks, how we doing? Welcome. This is the first video of the new year. Today is January 8th, 2025. California is currently in a state of emergency. If you haven't seen the news, there are 3 major wildfires at this time in California, and there's probably more breaking out as we speak. The National Guard is currently en route to Los Angeles at this time. Right now, we're in Pasadena, California, at the southern edge of the Eaton Canyon fire. There's 2 other locations where there's massive fires. There's one in Pacific Palisades. There's one in Sylmar. Very hard to breathe out here. It's a very apocalyptic scene. The sky is orange. There's ash floating through the air. I gotta wear masks today because you can literally barely breathe just standing here regularly. It's like smoking chain cigarettes or something. It's terrible. To be quite honest, it kind of seems like business as usual out here. There's people driving around, there's people walking around. About 5 minutes north, everything's sealed off. So I honestly don't know how much we're gonna see, but you know, we're gonna try and do our best. So stay tuned, let's see what happens. Our steed for today is the Ultra B, the most well-suited bike for an adventure like this. Other than that, pray for me. Let's see what's going on. I don't know how far we'll make it, but let's find out. All right, this should be an interesting one, folks. First ride of the year, and LA has just completely hit the fan. There were a couple people who were out here yesterday before they really sealed all the roads off. Dude, oh my God. Bro, I forgot the seat for my bike. Whatever. I mean, I got the key, so I guess we're gonna be standing up. I guess I can still sit on it, honestly. Yeah, I can. It's just not quite as comfortable. Dude, I forgot the seat. So you have to take the seat off of this bike to take the battery out. I took the battery out to put it in the car, and I left the seat at home. Oh my God. I'm gonna be honest, I've done dumber stuff, so I'm not even that surprised. Honestly, we're still good. So if you're currently out of the loop of what's going on out here in LA, every year we have these really intense winds. They're called the Santa Ana winds. And this year, I think, easily was the most intense of them that I've ever experienced my entire life living in LA. Like, it was insane how strong the winds were yesterday. And apparently there's one tiny fire in each of these areas where there's now huge fires. And because the winds were so strong, it created these ember tornadoes. And those ember tornadoes were just traveling from place to place, creating tons of really small fires everywhere. And they all kind of combined to make really big fires all over the place. There's also a lot of dry brush. We're in a drought season. There hasn't been any rain this year, basically at all, like almost no rain. Well, definitely not this year because it's January, but last year there was very little rain as well. And that thing's big. So is that Bronco, honestly. So it's really a perfect storm. Extreme winds, lots of dry brush, and you got yourself some fires. So where we are right now is Pasadena. This is a place I've never ridden on an e-bike. That's for sure, especially not without a seat. Honestly, this is very rideable without the seat. Would I recommend it? No, but it's possible. You can definitely do it. It's a little shakier than it should be. So I mean, it looks like a very dark, overcast day, but where I was, it was beautiful and sunny. So it's really just all these clouds are smoke. It's actual smoke. People standing outside. This guy's, oh, this is these are sheriffs. Sheriffs are redirecting traffic to the right. So from here, we're gonna go this way, I guess. You guys know me, first thing I look for is the alley. Pasadena, beautiful neighborhood. Obviously, people are pretty concerned about, you know, their house is burning down, so not mad at that one bit. Lots of, on the news, I was shocked to see how many people didn't want to evacuate. Kind of wild. In Santa Clarita during the Canyon fires, there were people that straight up just didn't leave. Lots of people do not want to leave their home under any circumstances. Even an evacuation can't get them out sometimes. I mean, we heard that warning on the way here. They're trying to get people to leave. They do not want anyone out here. Fire truck rushing up the street that way. So a lot of the real action is up north and to the left. I don't think we're going to be able to see any of that. But then again, I don't know. It depends on how well they have all the streets sealed off. I could say right here, the smell is so much stronger. Oh yeah, you can see the smoke starting to, it's deep smoke. Oh, there's something on fire right here. Yeah, these guys. That's something. I don't even know what to say about that. There's a currently burning structure fire up here to the right. Looks like we cannot get through here at all. Something's burning right there. So they're only sending people to the left right here. Looks like I'm gonna have to turn it around. This guy seems a little upset. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and get it to, okay, it's a wild scene. When you have state of emergencies like this in LA, let me give you a little prepper, because even though I wasn't filming during the George Floyd riots, there's a lot of things you notice. Like, first off, there are people that just gather in trucks and cars that are just out to cause chaos, man. They're out to look for the easy opportunities. We're getting the alert again. There goes ABC 7. LA County Office of Emergency Management, fast moving wildfire in your area. Evacuation order has been issued. People are realizing they're not gonna get through right here. Man, EMS and police gotta be 100% overworked. We saw an active fire, but it's going to be real tough to try and get anywhere where we can see some real burning. They're letting people out and not in. Sheriff said, pull it up, bro. If I had a seat, I probably could properly pull it up. All right, so anywhere where we can see any real action is to the left here. And that's where it's fully evacuated. You can see there's plenty of brush on the ground. People doing their best to try and just chop their chop down their, you know, any dry brush that they have exposed on their property. They're trying to get rid of it. So we're just going to be hovering around for a bit. I mean, we're really just taking a look at what's going on in these neighborhoods. Looks like a majority of people are out of here. You don't see many cars and driveways, you know, and these homes are truly gorgeous. You know, these are really expensive properties, but you know, them fires, they don't pick where they're going after. They just when they're burning, they're burning. All these roads to the left, inaccessible. Trying to get the hydrants working. They're actually packing them up. All right, continuing down. We're just gonna be riding around for a bit, so let's see if we can get any actual shots on camera. Who knows? Who knows? The way fires are springing up in this area it seems pretty random. They're moving with some pace right there. There must be something going on that way. Clear skies off of that direction, so that was a huge branch that fell. Yeah, the winds out here must have been insane yesterday. Yeah, that guy probably even lives there. They told him, nope, you cannot go that way, so that means I'm not even gonna try. I don't know if you guys see the sun? It's crazy. All right, so what we gotta do is we gotta go around. I think we can make a left here, actually. If we can, that could be good. We wanna get to the top of this somehow, but I mean, there's virtually no way we're gonna squeeze through without getting in a boatload of trouble. So let's see how far we can make it up here and then maybe cut in to the left. I don't know. We're definitely on the edge of where everything's going on. All right, let's take a look at what's going on here. There's a school, tons of fallen trees, big branches. Good thing no one parked under there. Heavy duty fire engine right there. You can see there's smoke rising from a fire here. There's a fire over here. There's tons of individual little fires all over the place. Fallen branch there. There's a lot of fires. There's a big fire burning right there. We can see the smoke rising. I am surprised there's people even here still. If I lived here, I would be getting the heck out of this area ASAP. All right, we're gonna cut this left and see if we can make it down here at all. This is where we're really starting to get into the riskier areas. Something is burning to the right here. Fire engine right here. Looks like it's filling up on water. Oh no, it's got a hose out. We gotta go around this side. Oh wow, this person's house is burning. I mean, dude, look around. This house is on fire. Oh my God, it's burned to a crisp. Jesus. That Corvette's parked in front. Still embers just blowing. So those embers, you see how there's little bits of smoke coming out? That's what causes the big fires when the wind picks up. It just takes a couple of those little baby embers to go down anywhere else. Jesus. Look at that, man. House totally burnt to a crisp. Still burning. I mean, I'm sure fire department is spread thin. You can feel the heat from this. It feels like it's picking up, honestly. Another house right across the street. Look at that. I didn't even notice that. Still burning. Utter chaos out here. Good Lord. Wow, this is truly apocalyptic. Jesus, man, the destruction in this area is unbelievable. Look at this, just overnight. Still burning, man. Wow. I mean, luckily there's zero wind in this area currently, so there's no, there's probably no risk of the fire, you know, starting back up, but this is just truly haunting, man. Memories, people's possessions just gone. Fire's still spreading down there. You can see the fires are still going, just still spreading. Jeez. Hey, brother, are you from this area?
Yeah, I live right down the street, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this.
On talaria Sylmar, what's that?
Oh, this is a Sylmar Ultra B.
Yeah. I've almost got one, but I'm afraid of gonna get impounded, brother.
It's a little more strict over here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ride down then to...
No. Yeah. I just wanted to check out the area and...
You have a YouTube channel or anything?
Yeah, I do. It's called John Hicks.
Oh, I know you.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, where else you ride?
Yeah.
Where else you ride?
I mainly ride in the city, like in downtown LA, in South Central and Compton. Yeah.
You be safe, man.
You too, brother.
Yeah, I might hit you up and send you a message on YouTube. But...
Sure, yeah, definitely.
Right.
Jeez. Just had to get out of here, man. Straight scenes of the apocalypse, man. This is how I imagine the apocalypse looking if you ever lived through it in real life. Just like this. The goggles are fogging up. We gotta keep it moving. We can't slow down. The goggles are fogging. We gotta have 100% visibility out here. I mean, like, look, that guy right there didn't evacuate. There's still tons of people with their cars parked here. I mean, it's hard to say. Like, it's impossible to call it right now, right? Like, it seems pretty chill, but it's also, like, not chill. Like, look, you see that little burning ember right there, that little tree trunk that's burning? If there were powerful winds, that could go downrange and start a huge another fire and turn into one of these houses on fire. That's all it takes. It really is all it takes. This is really, I think, the best we're gonna see out here in this area, though. And look at this, man. It looks like a plane crashed here. It smells like fireworks too. This entire block incinerated. That guy left his car. That 2 cars burned to the ground. Basketball court back there. They had a swimming pool. Entire house leveled. Jesus. I can't describe to you what it's like to see this with my own two eyes right now. It is truly kind of haunting. And then on this side, luckily they were spared. All it takes is for the flames to jump across the street. One little ember with the wind. Another structure fire actively burning right here. This guy's house is just burning. Does he know? Is he here? Is that person here? This house is on fire. I would assume they know. That man. Trying their best to put it out. Look at this house on the left. This is the one that we saw was burning. It's done. It's completely toast. Still on fire. Just truly unbelievable. Man. The wildlife, man. That's one thing I really think about in these scenes, dude. So in this direction, as you can see all that smoke, there's tons of active fire still. Like, it is like this place got bombed. That's what you would think with how much fire there is. Like, there's still so much burning. It's crazy. All right, we're gonna go this way. I see a big fire burning currently. I mean, everywhere you look, man. Look at this. Main thing you gotta worry about, gas lines. Still a little baby fire right there too. National Guard is on its way out here right now. Just devastation on every single block. Neighbors out here doing their best to protect what's left. This block really got hit hard. That house is gone. The smell here is insane. Still burning right there. Car totally toast. This street got hit real hard, man. Dang, man. That's the most powerful thing we're gonna see today, man. That guy laid out, just gave up. Firefighters fighting this one right here. Probably trying to do their best to just do what they can. Let's be honest though, it's toast. Good Lord, man, I was not ready for this. Not ready for the things I was going to see today. Those are some powerful scenes just on that street alone. Everybody looks so completely defeated, man. That's the only way I can really describe it. Everyone looked completely defeated, sad, done. No really other way to put it. I don't see any news out here, man. I don't know. No news coverage for this stuff. This is just the aftermath, really. More houses just completely just gone. Entire neighborhood leveled, just completely leveled. This is a pretty really strong smoke. Oh my god, oh my god, this house recently caught on fire. I mean, it's over. Jesus Christ, man. Feeling of lawlessness is like, it cannot be overstated how dangerous it feels being out here right now. But I mean, the reality is there's not much happening. No one's really, you know, there's not much anyone can do about any of this. People are just kind of hovering around. Looks like they're all ready to go if they need to, but it's not like the wind is not creating a factor of like, you need to get out of here. Crazy. I don't know what to say, folks. This is a pretty raw look at what's going on right now. This is a state of emergency in Los Angeles County. This is how it looks. Every car that comes by is full of people, and it's hard to tell if they're like casing stuff out or if they're trying to leave. It really could be either one. All right, we're gonna get out of this neighborhood. We've been here for a minute. I mean, this is just like unspeakable destruction. We're here on Mendocino Street. I really don't know my way around here, so we're gonna be playing it by ear and playing it as cool as we can. Hear my voice crack? Yeah, it's real smoky out here, man. There's clearly not enough firefighters to go around. Look at that beautiful BMW parked in the, look at this tree, completely uprooted. Jesus Christ. Things burning just all over still. Fire department doing what they can. Oh shit. These are down power lines. Oh, that fire's out of control. Really don't want to touch the power lines. We're just gonna get a look at that, bro. People are just walking out casually. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're out of here. We're getting out of here. Going that way is really no man's land. Going further that way really starts to feel like no man's land. I don't know. I think everyone has gotten out of that area behind us. Like there's no reason to be over there. Jeez, man. That's the first thing I need to keep an eye out for, that down power lines. I rode right over those. Luckily I'm on rubber tires. Didn't even notice. That could have been the end of Hicks. Still smoldering, man. Fire department, it looks like they probably did what they could to get most of these fires out and under control, but you know, how much can you really get under control in a situation like this when it's just like everything's burning, man? Everything is burning. When the new construction is untouched, I think these guys are on Surons. Wow. Fire collection is just completely up in smoke. Everything gone, 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 gone. Everywhere you look, destruction. Jesus Christ. New fires starting everywhere we go. Everywhere we go, we're seeing new fires starting. What are you even supposed to do? I'm gonna turn it around here. All right, we're gonna go in a big circle back around. I mean, there's a lot of ground to cover out here, folks, and it's only gonna get worse again as the night goes on because the winds are supposed to start picking up. There's another down power line. Gotta do my best to avoid that. Look, you see that little ember right there? That's gonna catch that whole bush is gonna catch on fire from that one little ember. This house is burning bad, man. This lady's just standing there. Your house is gone, folks. Y'all gotta go. I wanna get behind this truck. Damn, man. I mean, what are you supposed to say, man? What are you supposed to say? Everything you own and love is just burning up right in front of you. What else can you do besides stand there, you know? I ain't even mad at him. All right, we're gonna tear a little bit. We're gonna go down this way. Look at this. Whole tree down. We're gonna go check that out in a second. Jesus. Another entire tree came over. I can only imagine how powerful the winds must have been here. It had to have been so much more insane than where even I lived, because I thought they were bad there. Clearly not even close. Tons of leveled houses here. Person's in there filming their house. This looks like it could be the National Guard. I don't know, or some type of undercover, something. Sheriff. We're gonna be careful going through here too much. It's a full-blown disaster zone. There's still trees burning. There's a big fire over there in the distance. I mean, this seems impossible to get under control even at this moment. It is just every block is just more destruction. It's like we were attacked. It's like US was attacked. That's kind of how it feels with the amount of destroyed houses. That's where we got to start being careful in this area. If we get stuck out here, it's gonna be really hard to get back. Lots of leveled houses, man. Beautiful homes, I'm sure. Extremely beautiful homes, just leveled. Old folks probably left and came back. Fire everywhere you look. Everywhere you look, there's still things burning. More fires here. Tree down here. I can't believe it, what I'm seeing. I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, folks. I'm trying to like give you this through my own two eyes, and I genuinely cannot believe what I'm seeing. There's so much destruction. There's so much. Like, there is so much. Jesus Christ. We got a big truck coming right at us. I think it's a heavy fire truck. We're gonna get across the street, man. Go this way. We can take any one of these roads south to get back to where we gotta go. But man, the scene last night here must have been just looking like it was in another dimension, man. Just houses all just full-blown erupt in fire. It probably felt like being in hell in real life, man. Hell on earth. My lungs are gonna be absolutely torched tomorrow too. Breathing in straight smoke, non-stop. They kind of have a handle on the big fires from what I've seen. I mean, we just saw that one big one. If you're catching in the footage, there's tons of little fires everywhere I go. Everywhere I look, in the corner somewhere, there's like a little fire going on. Not too many like giant ones. Seems like the fire department got a handle on all the giant ones. But I mean, just leveled. This place is leveled like it was bombed, man. A couple fires still roaring this way. I'd love to go that way. I just don't know where it goes. I don't know where this goes either. They're just burning everywhere. That's a gas line burning. You hear that? That's a gas line on fire. That's why it's roaring like that. All right, this may be the last 3 we check out. This one's real. This is real serious right here. Good God. Try and keep an eye on what's going on to the right. That's another gas line. Jesus Christ, man. It's horrifying. All right, we got to get out of this area. We're gonna make our exit now. We're gonna hit a left and go out. True state of emergency out here, man. Just a complete disaster. Jesus Christ. I'm speechless. Oh my God. You can feel the heat from that.
Around here?
What's that?
Around here?
No.
Crazy, right?
I just did a full ride through the neighborhood. Every single street I went down, destruction.
It's like a war zone. It's like, it's surreal. You can't even explain it.
You really can't. I've never seen anything like it.
And it's phenomenal.
It's pretty, you really can't explain it. That's the best way to put it.
Local bar. I used to drink right here.
Really?
Nacho.
Yeah.
My friend lived right down the street there. I hike, that's my hiking area. It's like all like a nightmare.
Man, unbelievable.
Look, no firemen. That tree caught on fire and it put itself out. There's no firemen around. Like, they just have to let things burn. There's not enough manpower.
Yeah.
What is that coming up? What's that shiny? Is that the moon coming over the rim? What is that shiny thing?
Oh, that does look like the moon. Yeah. What's your name, man?
Art.
Art? I'm Hicks.
Hicks?
Yep.
Nice to meet you.
Be safe, brother.
Ride safe.
Thank you. Could all smoke that way, too.
All right, so are you ready to dive into some pretty heavy stuff today?
Yeah, let's do it.
We're going to be taking a look at the aftermath of those just devastating wildfires that ripped through Los Angeles County.
Right.
Back on January 8th, 2025.
Yeah.
And our main source for this is going to be a pretty incredible YouTube video.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this YouTuber actually rode his e-bike
Okay.
through the, burned out areas of Pasadena.
Wow.
And get this.
Okay.
He did it without a seat.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But the perspective that he gives in this video is really, really unique.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's got to be like looking at a scene straight out of some kind of post-apocalyptic film.
Exactly.
With entire neighborhoods just leveled.
Yeah, he's got footage of just endless burned out cars.
Wow.
Power lines down everywhere.
Yeah.
And this like really eerie orange sky over everything.
I bet.
Yeah, the visuals are really, really powerful.
Yeah.
There's one shot in particular that I think really stood out to me.
Okay. It's
this completely charred Corvette.
Wow.
Just a shell of what it used to be.
Yeah.
Sitting in someone's driveway.
Yeah.
And it really hits you in that moment. Like, this isn't just about like property damage.
Right.
This is about, people's lives being completely upended.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what I think is really great about this YouTuber is that he doesn't just focus on the destruction.
Right.
He also, talks to the residents.
Yeah.
Captures their expressions. You can see the shock.
Yeah.
You can see the exhaustion.
Agree.
And there's this one guy that he interviews, and the guy just says, I just had to get out of here.
Yeah.
And you can just hear the weight of everything in his voice.
It's really heavy stuff.
For sure.
Another image that stuck with me from the video was this basketball court that he comes across.
Okay.
And it's totally destroyed.
What?
And I think that's a really important reminder that these fires, they don't just rip apart individual homes.
Right.
They rip apart the fabric of a whole community.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Like people gather at these places.
Yeah.
You know, for fun, for community, for sports.
It's a communal space.
Exactly.
Right.
And to see that just gone.
Yeah.
It's really powerful.
So, something that I thought was really fascinating about this video was how he captures the role of the Santa Ana winds
Oh, yeah.
in creating what he calls ember tornadoes.
Ember tornadoes.
Yeah.
I've never heard that term before.
It's a pretty vivid image.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, these aren't, your typical firestorms.
Right.
What happens is the winds pick up burning embers.
Oh, yeah.
And they whip them around, sometimes launching them miles away to spark new fires.
He actually has footage of this happening.
Oh, wow.
It's wild. It's kind of terrifying to watch.
I bet. Yeah, and that phenomenon is made even worse by the drought conditions.
Right.
And the dry brush. It's just fuel for these rapidly spreading fires.
Exactly. Yeah, and he talked about how the firefighters were just totally overwhelmed.
Oh, wow.
Doing their best.
Right.
But, forced to prioritize which blazes to even tackle first.
Yeah.
It makes you think about the limits of resources.
Yeah.
Even in a place like LA County.
Right. And that actually connects to a broader point.
Okay.
About disaster response.
Okay.
Especially, as these events become more frequent and more intense.
Right.
We really have to start thinking about, how we can better allocate resources in these situations.
For sure.
Yeah.
One of the most, I think, powerful moments in the whole video for me was when he encounters this woman.
Okay.
And she's just standing there.
Wow.
Watching her house burn.
Oh, my gosh.
And she's just completely still.
Wow.
Almost in a trance.
Yeah.
And it's just heartbreaking.
Wow. Yeah, the emotional toll of these events, it's immense.
Right.
And, it's something that we often overlook, in the immediate aftermath.
For sure.
Right? Like we tend to focus on, the physical damage, the, number of homes lost or, acres burned, but the trauma of losing everything, of witnessing that kind of destruction, that can linger for years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the midst of all of this, he's talking to residents, he's capturing this footage, he's riding through these burned out neighborhoods.
Right.
He starts to get this sense of lawlessness in the air.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He talks about how there's this lack of authorities.
Yeah.
And he starts to worry about, people potentially taking advantage of the chaos.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's a sobering reminder that even in the face of tragedy, there are those who might try to exploit vulnerability. And that just adds another layer of complexity.
That's absolute.
To an already devastating situation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really unsettling, right? And I think this whole sense of vulnerability, it brings up a really important point about the nature of these fires.
Okay.
They're not just some sudden catastrophe.
Right.
The risk has been building for a while.
You mean with the drought conditions and the dry brush?
Yeah, he definitely mentions that.
Yeah.
But it goes deeper than that.
Okay.
California has always had wildfires.
Right.
It's part of the natural cycle.
Right.
But we've been suppressing them.
Okay.
For so long that it's created this buildup of fuel.
So instead of like smaller, more frequent fires, clearing out the underbrush,
exactly,
we end up with these massive, uncontrollable infernos.
Exactly. Yeah. Decades of fire suppression policies have, in a way, made these mega fires more likely.
And then you layer on top of that, climate change.
Right.
Rising temperatures leading to even drier conditions.
Yeah, it's like we've created this perfect storm for disaster.
Exactly.
And it makes you wonder, what happens now?
Right.
How do you even begin to rebuild after something this massive?
Right. Well, going back to our YouTuber, he does show some glimmers of hope.
Oh.
He talks to a few residents who are starting to sift through the wreckage of their homes.
Wow.
And, it's clear they're devastated.
Right.
But there's this quiet determination in their eyes.
Yeah, he captures that really well.
Yeah.
There's this one woman who says,
yeah,
we'll rebuild. We always do.
Wow.
And you can just tell she's heartbroken.
Right.
But there's also this resilience.
Yeah.
This refusal to give up.
And that spirit is going to be so crucial because the recovery process is going to be long
and
and arduous.
Right.
It's not just about rebuilding physical structures.
Right.
It's about mending the social and emotional fabric of these communities.
It's about, rebuilding lives, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't really delve into the specifics of rebuilding.
Right. It's more about capturing those raw emotions in the immediate aftermath.
Right. His focus is on the human element, those personal stories.
Yeah.
But I think his observations do raise some important questions.
Like what?
Like, how do you even begin to address the psychological trauma that so many people are experiencing?
I mean, he mentions that seeing, dazed expressions, people just kind of wandering around in shock.
Yeah.
It's clear that the emotional toll is just as devastating as the physical damage.
And that's something that we need to be talking more about.
Right, for sure.
How do we provide, adequate mental health support for disaster survivors?
Yeah.
How do we help people process the grief, the loss, the anxiety and the fear that can linger long after the fires are out?
Absolutely. Yeah. And he also mentions, the lack of infrastructure in some areas, down power lines, blocked roads. It makes you wonder how emergency services even reach people in need.
Right. It highlights the logistical challenges of responding to a disaster of this magnitude.
For sure.
And then there's the question of resource allocation.
Right.
How do you decide which areas to prioritize when you're facing, multiple simultaneous crises?
He touches on that briefly.
Yeah.
Mentioning that firefighters were overwhelmed and forced to make these really tough decisions about, where to deploy their resources.
Exactly. And those decisions can have life or death consequences.
Right.
It's a reminder of the difficult choices that first responders have to make in these situations.
Absolutely. One thing that kept coming up for me in his video was the smell.
Oh, yeah.
He describes it as this acrid, smoky odor that just permeates everything.
Yeah.
It's almost like a physical manifestation.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Of the trauma.
It's a powerful observation.
Yeah.
It speaks to how deeply these events affect our senses.
Right.
How they become embedded in our memory.
Right. And it's not just the smell. It's the sights.
Right.
The sounds.
Exactly.
He talks about the crackling of burning embers.
Yeah.
The eerie silence of deserted streets.
Yeah.
The constant roar of helicopters overhead.
Right.
It just creates this overwhelming sensory experience.
Yeah.
That must be incredibly difficult to process.
And for some people, those sensory triggers can stay with them long after the fires are out.
Right.
Leading to flashbacks, anxiety.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't really get into the long-term environmental impact, though.
That's true.
It's mostly focused on that immediate aftermath.
Right. But I think his account does raise some important questions in that regard. For example, what happens to all that ash and debris? Oh, yeah? How do you even begin to clean up a disaster zone of this scale?
Right. And what about the air quality? He mentions the smoke and the haze, but how long does that linger?
Right.
What are the health effects of breathing in all those pollutants?
Those are all valid concerns, and they highlight the need for comprehensive environmental assessments in the wake of these fires.
Yeah.
We need to understand the long-term impact on air and water quality.
Right.
On soil health, on plant and animal life.
Yeah. It's clear that these fires are going to have ripple effects for years to come.
For sure.
It's not just about the immediate damage.
Right.
It's about the lasting consequences for the environment and for human health.
Exactly. It's true. And it kind of brings us back to that, that feeling of unease that the YouTuber described. He talks about how even days after the fires, there's this sense of uncertainty hanging in the air.
Yeah.
Like the disaster isn't quite over.
Yeah, he mentions, being wary of like smoldering embers down power lines. It's like the threat is still very real.
Right.
And he also talks about how, the winds are expected to pick back up.
Right.
Which is obviously a major concern.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think it highlights, a really crucial point about wildfire recovery. It's not a linear process.
Right.
There are these lingering dangers.
Right.
The potential for reignition.
Right.
The ongoing risk to both human safety and the environment.
He doesn't really go into detail about what happens next, though.
Right.
It's more about capturing that immediate aftermath.
Yeah.
But it does make you wonder, like, where do you even begin to rebuild after something this catastrophic?
It's a daunting task for sure.
Yeah.
And it requires a multifaceted approach.
Yeah.
There's the immediate need for shelter, food, medical care.
Yep.
For those who have been displaced or injured.
He does show some footage of emergency shelters being set up,
Yeah.
people, coming together to donate supplies.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that even in the darkest of times,
Right.
there's this incredible capacity for human kindness.
Oh, yeah.
And compassion.
Absolutely. And that community spirit is going to be essential.
Yeah.
In the long run.
Yeah.
Rebuilding homes and infrastructure is one thing.
Right.
But rebuilding lives, restoring that sense of normalcy, that's a whole other challenge.
Absolutely. And then there's the question of preventing future disasters.
Right.
He doesn't really delve into that.
Yeah.
But it's something that's been on my mind throughout this whole discussion. Like, what can we do to avoid repeating this cycle of destruction?
It's a complex issue with no easy solutions.
Right.
But one thing that experts emphasize is the need for better forest management practices.
He does touch on that briefly, mentioning how the buildup of dry brush contributed to the rapid spread of the fires.
We've spent decades suppressing wildfires.
Right.
But that's disrupted the natural cycle and created conditions ripe for megafires.
Right.
We need to find a way to manage our forests in a more sustainable way.
Okay.
Through controlled burns.
Okay.
Thinning out overgrown areas.
Right.
Promoting the growth of fire-resistant species.
So working with nature instead of against it.
Exactly. And we also need to address the underlying issue of climate change.
Right.
Rising temperatures, prolonged droughts.
Yeah.
These are all contributing factors to the increasing frequency and intensity of wildfires.
He doesn't really get into the political side of things.
Right.
But it's clear that climate change is playing a role here.
Absolutely. It's a global issue that requires global solutions.
Right.
We need to reduce our carbon footprint, transition to renewable energy sources, and find ways to mitigate the effects of a warming planet.
It could feel overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like one person can't really make a difference.
Right.
But watching this YouTuber's footage, seeing the devastation firsthand, it's a wake-up call.
It is.
We can't afford to be complacent.
I agree. We all have a role to play.
Yeah.
Whether it's through individual actions like reducing our own carbon footprint, or advocating for policy changes at a larger scale.
Right. Or supporting organizations that are working on the front line.
Yes, absolutely.
Of wildfire prevention and recovery.
Every action, no matter how small, can contribute to a more resilient future.
Well, this has been a sobering, but ultimately, I think, hopeful deep dive.
Yeah, I agree.
Tragic as these events are, they also reveal the incredible strength of the human spirit.
That's a great point.
We've seen devastation, loss, fear.
Yeah.
But we've also seen resilience, compassion, and a determination to rebuild.
And as we wrap up, I think the most important takeaway is that we need to learn from these events.
Yes.
We need to be proactive, not reactive.
Couldn't agree more. This isn't just about California.
Right.
This is about the future of our planet.
Exactly.
We need to be thinking long-term, working together to find solutions that will protect both human lives and the environment.
I couldn't agree more.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the California wildfires.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone.
We encourage you to stay informed, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay hopeful.